Hi, besties. Welcome to our monthly book talk book review. We're so happy to have you.
This month we're reviewing the Book of Achilles, so grab your blanket, your drink, and your emotional support book boyfriend.
And let's get into today's episode.
Hello,
Hey,
guys.
besties.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, it's actually the Song of Achilles, not the Book of Achilles.
Did I say the Book of Achilles?
She did say the Book of Achilles, but that's okay.
My bad.
That's okay.
We are reviewing the Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller.
Yes. And we chose it. I mean, the same reason we choose all of our books, because it was really popular on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And not even on TikTok. I had a lot of friends recommending this book to me too.
Yeah. We went into this book the same way we went into the last letter. Well, no, we knew a little bit more information about this book. We knew the genre of this book. We knew it was a fantasy book.
Yes.
The last letter, we just assumed it was fantasy and
Right.
did zero research. We also did zero research on this book. We
Other than it's
don't
popular on
read
TikTok.
the blurb. We don't do anything like that. We just pick it up and start reading.
And we didn't do that on purpose, but I think that's just kind of our
Thing.
our MO.
Yeah.
We
I feel like we always
don't read
I
about
always
it,
do
we
that. If
just-
someone tells me to read a book, because I know this isn't part of the episode, but I absolutely hate when the blurb has spoilers.
Me too. I can't
I
stand
can't stand
it. I
that.
don't want to know anything. Like
I want to
basic.
know, the very minute details of
Yeah.
the book. But like the last letter on the blurb, it tells you that the brother dies, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I
didn't want to know that.
I don't want to know. I mean, I know it happened close to the beginning, but still. That was like 4 or 5 chapters in. I don't
Yeah.
want to know what happens that far
Right.
into it.
No, I agree.
So I never read book blurbs. I don't read anything.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys. I also am catching some. I don't know.
she has cooties.
I do have cooties. I have something. My throat is just not great today.
So yeah, that's why we chose the book. How I felt about it.
Hold on. And next week,
Oh yeah.
we will be reading. Nope, not next week. And next month, we will be reading Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. We also know this genre. It is a thriller.
Yes.
We've heard really great things about it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I know about it is that it has an insane plot twist at the end, and I'm very excited about it.
I'm hoping that this book reads faster than the first two.
It's a thriller, so it should.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing of thrillers. It has to keep
Has to
turning
keep you-
pages.
Yeah. That's what I need.
Yes. It's supposed to be a psychological thriller too, which
Okay.
I love.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm excited
Obviously,
about
that's the book I'm writing too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they're my
that
favorites.
one. We like to be a little crazy. So, Song of Achilles. I didn't really start loving it until
Mhm.
probably like 75% of the way through.
Nice.
And It wasn't because it was like it wasn't poorly written or anything like that. It just didn't catch my interest until there were parts in between there that I was like, okay, this is getting a little bit better, but I would say that I started wanting to like keep reading by closer to the end.
Yeah. I didn't really start enjoying the book until about page 100, which it was 400 pages. So I would say a third of the way in is when I started liking it. So a lot sooner than you did.
Yeah.
I think the reason, and I think you'll probably agree with me, but tell me if you don't, that we didn't really enjoy it is because the main character, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Achilles or the other one?
The other one.
Patroclus?
Yeah, the guy, the point of view of
Patroclus is how I
Patrick, whatever his name is, Pat. We're
Pat.
calling
Pit Pat.
Pat. It's written from his point of view.
Yeah.
And at the he's young throughout the whole book, but at the beginning he's like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was really hard to read from the lens of a 10-year-old the way it was written, because he was talking like an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was using adult words to describe kid things.
Yeah.
Like playing with marbles and stuff. And it was just, it like disconnected from me.
Yeah.
Because it would just be like really well written,
Mm-hmm.
talking about little boys because he I don't know if you guys know this, but this book is LGBTQ plus. So it felt awkward for me. Like I couldn't get into it from that point of view. Plus Pat
I know, it's funny too.
He is just not a very charismatic person, which is like he's not supposed to be.
Right.
And that's not like a dig at her, because there's charismatic people in the book. It's just him himself, like his personality is not that type, and it's not supposed to be that type.
And I actually, like, now that I've read it all the way through, I couldn't imagine another point of view, to be honest. I liked him, actually.
But like I liked him. I liked his point of view. I liked watching him grow into a more confident, charismatic person by the end. But at the beginning, it was so hard to get through because he was boring.
He was boring. And to like your point of he was 10 years old at this time, and he was obviously exploring the feelings that he had for the main character. And so that was also a little bit awkward for me, because I was like,
and if it was written from like the point of view, I mean, it was written from the point of view of a child, but if it was written as a child, I feel like it wouldn't have been so uncomfortable. But reading adult words to describe a child is what made me feel icky.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
Because there's a lot of books that are written from the point of view of a child that's written like a child.
Yes.
Not like a child, but like, you know, it's like
you can tell that the character is young. With Pat, it was like, wait, are you 40? Or you know, it's very mature.
And then it would just like change his age throughout, and I was just, and it was written in like past tense too, but also in first person.
It was like first person
past
tense.
So it would be like, it wouldn't be like I was doing this, or it was just I had this, but the way it was written, it was like present past tense. So it was like he was doing it, but the words were past. It was very strange to me. And
which I guess to Madeline's credit is, you know,
like it was written well from her point of view, because it was an adult talking as if he's living in the memories of being a child.
Yes, there you go.
That's exactly what it was. Which is great, and she did it so well that like I felt uncomfortable as an adult reading the kid. Like it was really well written in that way. It's just the way it was written made me feel uncomfortable reading it. And then also it was like this 10-year-old describing, trigger warning, like rape and sexual assault and stuff like that in such a like just casual, nonchalant way, because he's a child, so he doesn't understand it, and for him that was so normalized. So me reading it in like such a way that's like, she was just held down and raped. It's fine. It is what it is. That's just how it is. And like normal. It felt so gross to me. And then the way that he talked about women was so gross, but also that's like how he was raised, but it was still
I think
weird.
So definitely moving forward in the book, Pat specifically regarding women was a lot better, because
I disagree.
Okay, we can talk about that when we're in spoilers. Because
I mean, like a non-spoiler way of just reading this is anytime he described a man, he would be describing like his, like even an ugly man, he would describe them in like still like lighter characteristics, where when he described a woman, even a beautiful woman, like the one he said was the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, he'd be like, she was like fox, like he would use like discouraging words to describe someone he even found attractive as a woman, but he would never do that when he described a man.
I guess I didn't realize that. Okay, well, okay, now that I'm talking to you about it, I feel like I liked the book more than than I let on. The writing style, I agree, was great. The events, I think took a little bit of time, which is why it
was very slow moving at the beginning, which is also why we didn't like it. We like faster paced books. And for her, like, I like training sequences. I like world building, like fantasy. And for me, that didn't start really like happening till about a third of the way in the book. The first half was just like his childhood memories, like we were talking about, but
from an adult perspective.
I mean, even like the part where I started liking it was still that kind of perspective. Like he at the end of the book was 29. So like old. So he didn't start becoming like present tense till the very, very end of the book. So like even I started liking it when he was still a minor.
And like I said, there were parts leading up to when I finally started enjoying it more that I was like, okay, this is interesting to read.
We forgot to describe the book.
What do you mean describe it?
We forgot to give the plot of it at the beginning, like we did with the last letter. Oh well,
we can get into it. Because the plot is something that I didn't necessarily expect all the way. I did not know going in that it was an LGBTQ plus book.
Me either.
So when that first started happening with Pat and Achilles, I was like, wait a second, what's going on here?
I started kind of getting that vibe from him from like the first few chapters, from when he first saw Achilles at the games.
So basically the plot of this book is, it's obviously Greek mythology. Achilles, is he a god? He's not a god, but he's what like Hercules was, like a demigod, half human, half god. Yes. Okay. And so it's about Achilles and his like companion Patroclus, which we're gonna call him Pat,
who has a big foot fetish, and not one Achilles heel joke. I'm gonna get into that. I will get into that into the spoilers of part of this.
So basically it just follows their like story and their journey into eventually the Battle of Troy.
Yes. And
so it's written from Patroclus's perspective, like we talked about, and basically him as an adult looking back on his childhood. So him as an adult is like the narrator, and he's telling all these stories from the point of like when he's 10 years old all the way up until present.
Yeah. It starts when he's 10, right? I think that was the youngest his age was.
Yeah. And that's basically what it is. And it's just, set in that time period. And
another thing that I didn't like about this book is the way that the women were described from like everybody's point of view, from when he was a child to when he was an adult.
Yeah.
What was that sound?
I don't know.
Anyways, it was very clear that the women were just nothing in this time period, which if you're going to be accurate about that, then I think you should be accurate about everything, because homosexuality in this book was not that big of a deal. Whereas it would have been in this time period.
Right.
So I don't like the choice that she made with hating on women, using women's rape as like plot points and using it to push the story along, but like the homosexuality was not.
Yeah.
Like that's fine, but we're gonna sit here and we're gonna attack women, rape women to keep the story moving, when none of that really needed to happen.
Yeah.
Like, this book would have been fine without any of that.
Yeah. No, I think that for sure it could have just been alluded to.
Yeah. Instead of described the way it was.
Yeah, I agree. It didn't do anything for the plot.
I did not like that at all. Like, I understand if you wanted to be like historically accurate with that, but then be historically accurate. Why are you choosing like, not that I want the not that I want like homosexual.
Yeah.
Not that I want them to be like attacked or to be killed in the book the way that the women were.
Right.
But I don't like that you still attacked one group of people without attacking, like, for the sake of historically accurate, without attacking everybody who would have been attacked in that time period.
Right. Right. No, I agree. It was hard to read some of those scenes. And there weren't, I mean, it wasn't like full of it, right? There was maybe like 2, 3 description
of
scenes.
Those scenes?
Yeah.
Yes, but
all throughout the book was.
Throughout the entire book, it was just, who cares what a woman says? And a woman's opinion isn't important. It's and like the one woman in power in the entire book,
Thetis.
No, not her.
Oh.
I can't describe who she is without a spoiler.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Didamia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the one woman who was in charge, Didamia, because she was a princess, but her father was like really sick, so he ran the country for her.
Yeah.
Even the way that Madeline made her was just such a like a stereotypical teenager, and she wasn't even a teenager.
Right.
Like, she was in power. This guy comes to visit her, and the first thing he's asked is, "Do you want to watch me dance?"
Like, what are you, a bird?
Like, I understand, like, people sent women to her to teach her how to dance because she was a great dancer.
Yeah.
But there's no way a queen is going to perform for a commoner.
No. Absolutely not.
So, like, the one woman in power acts the way that, like, men think women in power would act. So
it was almost like this was written by a man.
I literally thought, I texted you that. I'm like, I thought this was written by like a man, and look at my surprise when I saw the name was Madeline.
Yeah.
Like, it
was definitely strange.
It was weird. It was so weird.
And like you said, I think it would have made more sense if like everything, like homosexuality, was also looked down upon like the women were, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was literally like, oh, this is normal. Most people,
they weren't like it was
boys,
normal. They were like, yeah, all boys experiment with it, and then they have wives, and then they have boy slaves.
Like, what?
Like, it was just, yeah, it's fine. It happens behind closed doors after you get married.
Yeah, it was very strange. But
yeah, I don't know. I didn't like that.
The characters, vaguely, without getting into too much detail.
Who was your favorite character?
So in the beginning of the book, I liked Achilles. I thought he was very kind. He was very like how I would want my god to behave.
Yeah.
In the beginning, he was very like, everyone should be included. We should, fight for the right things, yada, yada.
Yeah.
By the end of the book, that boy, I wish harm on him. I did not like him. I guess it's not that extreme, but I didn't like him at the end. I had a soft spot for Pat.
Yeah.
I liked him. I liked him a lot, actually. But I think my favorite character was the girl that came into
the camp.
I
can't remember her name either. I'm so bad with names, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't. I'll look it up before we get into spoilers.
I know. I was just saying I'm going to start writing all of the characters' names down in our notes so that way we can go back to it.
We also were supposed to record this last weekend.
Yes. So
we're about a week
finished
behind
watching or reading this book a while ago. But my daughter threw up.
Yeah.
Like the night. I think like maybe
literally
9 hours you were supposed to come to record. So we had to push it out.
Yeah. But I will look it up before we get into the spoiler section, and then we can talk about her because I liked her. I
loved her. Yeah,
she was good. How about you?
I would agree with you. My favorite at the beginning of the book was Achilles. My favorite overall was the centaur. I loved him.
Oh yeah, Chiron.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. At the end of the book, mine was Pat.
He just has such a good moment.
He has a really good. It's like everything Achilles lost to his ego, Pat gained in his confidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love the way you said that. Yeah. It was great.
I really enjoyed Pat at the end.
Yeah,
which is
too.
funny because I hated him so much.
I mean, like you said, he was boring.
Not that I hated him. It's just he was so boring, and the only time he talked passionately was about hating women. So I was just like,
or how much he loved Achilles'
feet, specifically.
Yes. So would I recommend it? Yeah, I think I
would recommend it to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
If like for myself, I probably wouldn't have recommended it to myself to read.
Yeah.
Like if somebody not that I'm like a huge I mean I am a huge feminist, but like if somebody like me who's more sensitive to the woman topics, I wouldn't recommend it to them.
Yeah.
But someone who like you who's not that you're not, but like
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone like you, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
Would you have DNF'd it if we didn't have to read it?
I'm telling you, at one point I almost did. But no.
I remember you texted me that you were about to DNF it. You were like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah. But no, I would not DNF it. I think that by the end of it, it was worth it.
Yeah. I would have, only because I would not have given a book 100 pages to get good.
Yeah.
I have like a 3-chapter minimum. Like if I'm not interested after 3 chapters, I'm not going to read. That's why it took me how many times to read Akatar?
Yeah.
Yeah. You kept saying you have to get past the first.
Yeah. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. So am I glad I didn't DNF it?
Yes.
Yes.
Me too.
I really enjoyed the book after the first 100 pages.
And now, like
but I
said,
wouldn't have gotten to 100 pages if I
just
didn't
in
have
normal
to read
life.
it.
Yeah.
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 And I feel like you're the same. You probably would have DNF'd it.
Absolutely. I would have DNF'd it. I would not read it again.
I would not read it again. No.
No.
That was a one and done book for me.
Yeah. But I'm kind of glad that I read it.
Me too.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it by the end. And now I have it forever on my bookshelf. So
yeah.
Did it make you cry at all? It didn't make me cry. No.
Mm-mm.
We just have that as a question on here.
Yeah. There were definitely moments where I felt a deep like sense of empathy towards characters, but no, it did not make me cry.
Me either.
Yeah.
All right.
So
we are going to get into the spoiler section of this episode. So if we made you want to read the book,
go read it and come back.
Go read it and come back. If you guys have read it or we don't want you to read it, just stick along.
Yeah, why not?
Stephanie's one and only thing here is why Achilles was the worst, but we'll get to that.
We'll get
to that.
Yeah.
So, how did you feel about Achilles' mom? I swear I read the book. I don't know characters' names.
So Achilles'
and
mom.
Also another thing I really didn't like about this book is it introduced characters in a way where it was like, here's 50 characters and what they do.
Yeah.
And then they never describe who they are again. They just say their names.
Right. And then I'm like, wait, who are you? What are you doing here?
And like they'll just introduce 50 characters at once. And I'm just
and
like,
they all have long names because it's ancient Greece.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a little confusing. But Achilles' mom's name was Thetis. She is a goddess of ocean, water. Right?
Yeah, she's a sea nymph, which is
like a mermaid
goddess. So she's not like the goddess of the ocean. She's just a goddess who lives in the ocean.
Yeah.
And she's Achilles' mom, and the way she gave birth to Achilles is his father was a great and pious man. So his reward for that was he was allowed to rape Thetis so that he birthed a son for him. And the way, and like the description of this was so weird because it came from a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
But like he was describing how the gods were telling him, what's his name? The dad? My phone is recording, so that's why I can't just like look it up on my phone, or else I would. We literally should have just read it all out.
That's wrong.
It's the Song of Achilles characters. We're gonna need the list.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Peleus.
Yeah. Okay.
He was king of Thea.
Yes. So, Peleus, Achilles' dad, was promised Thetis, and the 10-year-old describing how the gods told Peleus, just hold her down. She's going to fight you. She can turn into other beings. So she's going to be screaming. She's going to be slashing at you to let her go. Just hold on and keep going. It's okay.
Ugh.
It was just...
You know, to be honest, I don't remember reading that. So now my opinions on Thetis are changing.
Oh, I liked Thetis. I know she's supposed to be the villain in this. I think her circumstances, if I was a goddess and I had powers and that happened to me, his entire kingdom would be underwater.
And that's why my opinion's changing on her. I didn't like her up until literally right now talking about her, because for some reason, I don't know if I blocked it out or if I just really wasn't enjoying the book, so I just kind of skipped over it. But I didn't realize how Achilles came to be. Like, I knew that he was...
That's why at the end, I was like... At the end, she has like a grandson, and the way the grandson is, I texted you, I'm like, this is not how Thetis would raise him. Like, this is not his son. And you were just kind of like, I mean, he was bad. And but like, I'm like, no, like, this is not how he would be. Because he was, we'll get to it, but he was horrible. He was and I'm terrible. Like, my girl would not raise him like that. Like, this was written so horribly.
That makes a lot more sense to me now that I am
brought
into
the whole picture
her
together.
Circumstance. Yes. Yeah. Yes, because I did not like Thetis. I was like, why are you such a bitch?
I was like, why are you not a bigger bitch?
Now I agree with that.
So I guess God's law is if you... Because she was a virgin too. She was a virgin too.
I do remember that.
So he took her virginity... and because of that, she was forced to be married to him for a year. And then the second the year was gone, she left, but she wasn't allowed to take the baby.
Wow, I don't remember any of that.
Oh,
that's crazy. Okay, yeah. I feel very differently about her now. Very differently. It makes a lot of sense. Yes. What I didn't like about her was even though like she did come from that circumstance, she still held Achilles so high that she couldn't see the value of him having a companion like Patroclus. And I obviously, because I have sympathy for, I mean, they were in love, right?
Yeah.
Achilles and Patroclus. So I wish that she would have sooner in the book come around to, okay, obviously Patroclus makes my son happy, but I understand why she didn't do it, because if she went through all of that to get Achilles, why would you not want him to be the biggest and best thing?
I think it had nothing to do with Patroclus. Like, I think no matter what, human, woman, or man, he would not be good enough for Achilles, because she hated humans, men specifically.
That makes sense. I can see that.
I
so I
understand.
It had anything to do with like
no, it had nothing to do with. She didn't like that they were gay, because that would make it harder on Achilles. He wouldn't be taken as a hero as seriously.
Yes.
And she didn't want that. She wanted him to achieve godhood so that he wouldn't be human anymore. Like, he wanted to get rid of
humans so much. Yes.
So that was why she, like, it wasn't personal to her, so I understood like the hatred there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it makes more I like that we do this. It makes more sense talking it out loud.
At least that's what I got from it. So I liked Thetis. I understood where she came from.
I understand a lot better now. Yeah. And I do think that she was a good mom.
I think so too.
Yeah.
She was very demanding and stuff, but it was also ancient Greece, and she was also a goddess, so she was used to getting her way. So I feel like that also came into it.
Yeah.
And she was also fighting with a king for like she could only see him for like an hour a day, like a few hours a day. So like she also didn't see him very often. He was living with a rapist.
Yeah.
So she was kind of like
her rapist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she was demanding on how he acted, but like I can understand why. Like she had to put herself there because no one else was going to do that for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Other characters besides the main ones, how do you feel about how the other men acted? Like specifically we had Agamemnon, Odysseus, and Hector were like the main men.
I didn't like any of them.
No, me neither. I was like, ew.
I didn't like most of the characters in this book.
Me too. Achilles, though, I really liked in the beginning, and even when they were into Troy for a little bit, I liked him because he was still advocating for them to work together and to be, you know, not kind because they're going into battle, but encouraging them to do it the right way and to be like, if we're going to have this war, we need to act properly.
I actually don't think he did that very well.
Okay.
Because there is at one point where someone was like, why don't we just go to the castle and ask for this woman back or see if she even wants to come back? And everyone else was like, no, let's just attack. Let's go start raiding. And he stayed quiet. He wasn't like,
oh yeah.
He wasn't like, yeah, we should do that first before we start killing random people. And then he just stayed quiet because he wanted to go to battle.
Yeah, no, I see that point of view, but I was thinking specifically of when he like stood up in front of all the men because they were getting annoyed that nothing was happening and they were there for like months and months and months.
I feel like he did that for selfish means.
Potentially.
Yeah, I feel like he only did that to show everybody that he was a better leader than whatever that
Agamemnon.
Whatever. I can't pronounce these names.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the only reason he did it.
I can see that. Selfish or not, I do still think that it was like it was like a power move, which
it was definitely a power move.
I can respect, even if war is selfish.
Yeah.
So yeah. But definitely stopped liking him around that point too. I knew exactly what it was. I knew he didn't care. I knew he only wanted that to happen to show everybody that it was a Megmon's fault that everybody was dying, and he was going to be like, see, I would have fixed it. I would never have done that. This guy sucks. For sure. I can see that.
Because if he really wanted it to just go away, he would have talked to like Odysseus and everybody privately. He wouldn't have just jumped on the stage and been like, this guy sucks. I'm better.
Right. Which is also like a huge disrespect thing, you know, and
I mean, Eggman deserved it.
Oh yeah, I agree.
He sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, by the end, Achilles was just like, I'm here to kill people. And then what did you do? Ended up killing the person that you loved. I think that is a tragedy to me. Like, Patroclus he would do anything for Achilles. And up until a certain point, Achilles was the same way for him.
Yeah.
And then it was like, because Achilles' whole thing was like, I don't care about becoming a god. If it happens, cool. And then when they went into battle, he was like, I am a god. I'm going to be a god. Like, I am the biggest and baddest.
I feel like he changed his mind about that before the battle. He was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm not sure. And then the second he found out that he would become a hero.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it wasn't
if he
a
went to fight.
maybe.
Yes.
It was like, if you go to fight in this war, you will become a hero. He was like, okay, this is what I want.
Yeah.
So I think
true.
he's always wanted to be a hero. He just never wanted to say it out loud because he was afraid he was never going to get it. But then when he found out that he was able to get it, he was like, it wasn't even a hesitation. He was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So I feel like he always wanted to. He just didn't have the confidence to say it out loud.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is interesting because Patroclus is portrayed for so long as this like unconfident, quiet, kind of useless, for lack of a better word, character for a while. And I didn't really see him as that ever. I didn't think that. I think he was boring, but
at the end, Madeline basically made him a housewife.
Yeah.
I didn't like that because he had so much potential.
He did. I loved when he was helping in the medical tent. So when they were in battle, this battle took
10 years.
10 years, yeah. So at a certain point, and he wasn't actively fighting. He wasn't a good fighter. He kind of stayed behind at the camp and kind of just.
He said the only time he went to fight was when Achilles wanted to show him how good of a fighter he was.
Right. And I'm like, okay.
Like, come watch me kill these people.
Yeah, like this man loved Achilles so much.
Yeah.
So while they were in battle during the day, Patroclus was like searching for something to do, and they were like, well, go look in the, they always need help in the medical tent. Mm-hmm. And when they went to, okay, so I feel like we're doing a bad job of explaining these events.
Well, the hard thing about this is the book has almost nothing going on until the Battle of Troy. But then small things like in the Battle of Troy connect to the beginning of the book. But the beginning of the book has like really nothing going on.
No, like
the beginning of the book is just talking about how Pat accidentally killed someone and then was exiled and sent to Achilles' kingdom. And then Achilles and Pat became best friends. And that friendship started weird.
It did. It was so weird. And I thought it was so strange that they just let him be wherever Achilles was. Even when, like, I know they would do whatever Achilles wanted.
Well, that's because he made him a companion.
Right. And I guess that means more than just best friend. But
that means he's like his
second.
Yeah, his second in command, his right hand. So he was allowed to go anywhere. So basically, after everybody found out that he was exiled for killing a guy, and he only killed him in self-defense. Also, that killing scene was stupid. Basically, Achilles. Oh, wait, actually, the very beginning of the book was them, which was also fucking weird.
Trying to find a wife or a husband for this girl. Yeah,
so this girl was of age to marry, so they had a bunch of like really well-to-do men go there and then
basically present themselves as like why they would be a good husband for this guy's daughter.
What's her? She had a normal name too, and I still can't remember it.
I know. It was like Helen or something like that.
Yeah, Helen. And then like bring gifts for Helen and then like present themselves to her father so her father could pick which husband she was going to be forced to marry. And then
so romantic.
This guy, anyway, I don't know the guy's name.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
matter.
he was like, all of these guys are great. What if we just let Helen pick her own husband? I know, weird. But let's just
concept.
Do it. And then the dad was like, well, how do we stop everybody from killing each other because Helen picked one guy? And then they're like, well, I'll make a blood oath to protect Helen with our lives.
Right. Which is how they all how Patroclus got sent to the Battle of Troy.
Yeah. So
aside from being Achilles,
they all made a blood oath with their lives to protect this girl they've never even seen because she had a veil over her face.
Yeah.
And then later in the book, that woman gets kidnapped by the Trojans. So everybody who took that blood oath, they were like, well, You promised with your blood that you were always going to protect her. And even though this has nothing to do with the marriage, she was just kidnapped by a random person. You all have to go fight.
Yep.
So Patroclus was sent.
Yep.
And then Achilles' destiny was that he had to fight in the Battle of Troy, but he was going to die in the Battle of Troy. But that was the only way he was going to be a hero. If he didn't fight, he was never going to get herohood, and he was going to be forgotten.
So he was like, okay.
He was like,
I'll do it.
He's like, I would rather die a hero very young than live a happy life with Pat.
Right. Yeah. And he knew all this because Thetis was a goddess. So she was able to tell him, like, this is your destiny. This is what's going to happen. Just weird. But I liked when they were in Troy and Patroclus went into the medicine tent and he started, because when they were with the centaur, which they were sent to like train,
although he didn't train Achilles how to battle at all, because Achilles' fate was that he was going to be the best fighter ever seen, and like better than Hercules. He was
already good at fighting, so he didn't really need any training with that. But Patroclus was interested in surgery, medicine, and he turned out to be like one of the best in the camp. Like he was the medicine man's second. Like he was able to heal wounds very, very well. So the character arc for Pat was just like, I loved
tremendous. It was really great.
It was great.
So that was pretty much the backstory. Like the whole backstory was them preparing for Troy. And then Troy lasted 10 years.
Yeah.
So
which was also only like I said, maybe 25% of the book.
Yes.
And that was the most interesting because the most happened.
Yeah. And then in the Battle of Troy, what made me start to like Pat a lot is when they started doing these raids before they even asked the Trojans for Helen back, was they would take prizes, and the prizes were like gold that they find, anything of value, and then woman. So Pat would tell Achilles, take the woman so that we can keep them and
safe,
make sure that nothing happens to them.
Because the other women, like when the other guys, they basically auctioned off these women, and
then they would become slaves. Sex slaves and regular slaves. Like they were both.
Yes. Which is where our favorite character comes in. Her name was Briseis. Yes. She was great. She was like Patroclus'
best friend at the end.
Yes. They were very close. And
I didn't like that they made her fall in love with him.
Me either. I'm like, can't we just have a companionship?
She knew romance? That they were gay. Like that's the way she didn't speak I was gonna say English. She didn't speak Greek. They spoke Greek.
Right. And she spoke where she was from.
They said the language. I can't remember.
I can't remember either,
but her hands were like tied up because again she was like taken, and he was trying to tell her that she's safe, was trying to take the things off, but she was like freaking out. So he goes and he kisses Achilles right in front of her to show like, hey,
I don't have any interest.
I'm not on your I don't care about you, like that. So then eventually she like calmed down. They became really good friends. She kind of ended up liking Achilles but didn't really like Achilles. She definitely saw through his ego immediately. She watched him kill her family.
Right, that too.
And he was part of the team that kidnapped her.
Right.
So they would work together. So every time there were more women in the camp that Achilles was able to claim, because he couldn't save the other woman that other men claimed, because men are more important than women. So only when he was able to like get his hands on other women was he able to take them to Brius, and Brius would basically like teach them how to live in this camp and teach them Greek.
Like calm them down and be like, they're not gonna hurt you.
As long as you stay with these guys, they're not gonna hurt you. And it was really great to see that friendship bloom.
Yes,
I feel like that also gave Pat a lot of confidence, because he was like, I'm doing something good here. Like I'm not able to help fight, but like this is something I can do here.
Pat is just such a good person. He really was just a good person.
I hated his ending. That I have things to say about that when we get there.
So before we get there, I think there's only one more thing I want to talk about before we get there, which is kind of the downfall of Achilles for me.
Wait, we also have to talk about his child.
Oh, yeah.
So when the prophecy came and Thetis told him that if he fights in this battle, he's going to be a hero, but he will die, and he agreed to do it, she basically kidnapped Achilles and put him on the island with the girl that we talked about earlier. What was her name again? Diomedes? Whatever.
Diomedes, yeah.
Yeah. The dancing queen.
Mm-hmm. Young and sweet, only probably 13.
I think at this point he was
probably
15 because he turned 16 with the centaur.
Yes.
And this happened right before the centaur.
Yes.
So because he was there with the centaur for 2 years, so he was 13.
Wow, look at that. I made a joke, but it was real.
So this island that she was the queen of, she was known for her dancers, and people would send their daughters there to dance with her and to become like her servants. So Thetis dressed Achilles up as a girl, married her to Deities, and forced him to have sex with her to compensate not compensate. What is that word? What is that word? I know everybody's screaming the word at us right now.
Commiserate? I guess I don't know what you're trying to say.
There's a word for having sex after marriage to like seal. What is that word?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's to commiserate.
That's not the word, I don't think. Oh my god, this is killing me. I want to know what you're Googling.
Commiserate.
It's not commiserate.
Consummate.
Okay. So close. So basically Deities forces Achilles to have sex with
Diomedes
to compensate the marriage. And they had sex twice. I don't remember why they had sex the second time.
Me either.
I also hate that Pat had sex with her. There was no reason for that at all. I know.
Me too.
That was just weird. We'll get to that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he forces her to have sex, and then Pat, a month later, is like, I need to find Achilles. He's not coming back. And then forces Peleus, who's Achilles' dad, to tell him where he was and to give him money to go there. So then he goes, he finds Achilles at the castle. And then they hug, and he's like, Achilles is my wife. I'm taking her home. And then Diomedes is like, no. And then like immediately starts bawling and crying like, no, you can't take her. You're lying. Again, very queenly behavior.
Yes. And she was pregnant already, so.
I wasn't there yet.
Sorry.
I was just making fun of the fact of how Madeline writes women.
Yeah. Madeline, girl, you okay?
Anyways, she immediately starts bawling and crying and being like, you can't take her. And then her dad, the actual king, is like very confused by what's happening. Like, why are you like, if that's her husband and he wants to take her back, he can. Like, why are you crying about this? Ugh, woman. And your emotions. And then Thetis randomly comes. Does she come at this part? I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep,
she
appears.
And she's like, oh, wait, no. She comes because DMS is like, that is a man. That is my husband.
Right.
And I am pregnant with his child.
And everyone's like,
yes. Gasp.
What?
And then Pat is like, how dare you cheat on me, and like runs off.
Yeah.
And then
it was
Achilles
very dramatic.
chases him.
Yeah. So long story long, Achilles
Very
has
long.
a son with Diomedes.
Basically, after she gets pregnant, Thetis comes and she's like, you're not allowed to tell anybody what happened here.
Like, keep your mouth shut.
You're not allowed to tell anybody you're married. You're not allowed to do this, blah, blah, blah. And we're basically going to lock you away so that nobody knows you're pregnant.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then as Achilles and Pat were leaving this island to like go fight in the war, the king is like, just promise me this. At least the son can have your name. And he was like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then Thetis comes like an hour after that. And then he has to go back to the king. And he was like, so about the kid, you're not allowed to raise her. As soon as the baby has to stop breastfeeding, he's going to live under the water with my mom. Hope you're cool with that. She's a goddess. You're not allowed to say no.
Right. Yeah. That is what happened.
And so then we haven't really heard about the son since then. Achilles did not give a fuck that he had a kid.
Not one single fuck.
I don't think he even ever met him.
Nope.
Yeah. No, he still visited his mom. He just didn't want to see the kid. Like, he did not give a single fuck about this child.
No. So, and his son turned out horrible.
Which I don't think he would have turned out that bad.
Yeah, with Thetis. Yeah, he was terrible. But Achilles' downfall. Are we ready for that now?
Yeah. Okay. So now that you have kind of the backstory that we've been, we'll get better at these book reviews. Sorry.
Yeah.
This
one's really confusing.
Yeah, because it's not like a straight timeline, because they kind of just throw information at you that doesn't make sense until the end of the book.
Right. It all ties together at the end. So,
which is why like we're going through the end of the book and then we're like, oh yeah, then this happened, because we're kind of going like our timeline is from
it's
Troy.
Literally backward.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
So then they're fighting with Troy, and then Achilles. So I guess we got to go to this part because we kind of skipped this part.
Okay.
So Agamemnon, okay, I started talking about this and we had to go backwards.
Yeah, Agamemnon.
So they started saving all of these women who would be who would get kidnapped. So during one of the raids, they brought back a woman, and Pat was like, hey, get her so that nobody else can. And before Achilles is able to be like, I want her, Agamemnon is like, nope, she's mine. I want her. I'm claiming her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was the daughter of a priest.
Yes.
So then a few days after that happens, the priest comes. He was a messenger of, or the priest of one of the gods, I think.
Yeah, Zeus.
Not Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was Zeus. It was one of the ones that starts with an A.
No, it was
Artemis.
Oh, maybe it was Artemis, the wind.
Mm-hmm. No, the king of like disease or something like that.
Oh, disease, god of disease. Please hold. Apollo.
I knew it started with an A.
My bad. Zeus is mentioned in here.
Yeah,
sometime.
He is.
He was the wind, and the like,
Zeus is lightning.
Rain.
Wind was someone else.
Okay.
Wind
Either
is,
way.
I think wind is Artemis.
Artemis,
right.
yeah.
Because he was also mentioned. Anyways, so the like a priest of Apollo comes, and he's like, he brings like this big chest, and he was like, this is for my daughter, like, please give me my daughter back, like, I'll pray for you. And Pat said that what he brought was more than what the daughter was worth, so it was like a fair, like more than a fair trade, and he should have taken it. But
Agamemnon was like,
nope, I want her, she's mine.
Yeah,
I don't care about you.
Yeah.
So then he cursed them. So everyone started dying of the plague. So, and Agamemnon like didn't say anything about it. People were just dying, and he didn't care. It was Achilles and Pat that was like taking care of everybody and burning the bodies of the people who died. And then eventually he got sick of it. So that's when our Achilles just kind of went on stage and took over, and he was like, let's figure out why we randomly got the plague.
Right.
We have a preacher who talks to the gods right here. Come up here. Tell us why. Even though they knew it was because of Argamon, he wanted someone else. He didn't want to be the one to say it.
Right.
He wanted someone else to be the one to say that it was whatever his name is his fault. So the priest comes up, basically says, you guys pissed off Apollo, like return the daughter and they'll go back. And he was like, well, if you're forcing me to return this slave, I'm taking one of your slaves, so I'm gonna take Braces. Thank you. And Pat was like, you're not doing that. Like, Achilles tell him he can't do that. Achilles was like, if you're gonna take my prize, because Braces is my prize that I earned, you're disrespecting me, and I'm not gonna fight this war anymore, so you guys can die.
Right. And
Argamon was like, cool, okay. We're taking her.
Right.
So Achilles was like, fine, take her. And
yeah, he basically
Pat was like, yeah. What do you mean take her? No, you know what they're gonna do to her. And he was like,
well, it's their fate. They sealed their fate. They're all gonna die. And
he was like, if they're gonna take him, I don't care. Let them take her.
Yeah,
I'm just not gonna fight for them. They're gonna take her, and they're all gonna die. I don't care.
Yep, they'll see that they need me once they can't fight the war without me, and don't even give a fuck about Bracius. Yep.
So Pat was like, you cannot do this, and he was like, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And ran away to his mom and made Pat deal with them coming and taking her by himself.
Literally. Like, no hero at all. He was not a hero.
No. He literally ran to his mommy and was like, well, they're going to come get her. They're going to come get her. I got to go.
Yep.
And then Pat was like, I know why. Like, after he left, he like thought about it. He was like, if they rape Brius, which they will, then they will dishonor him, so that gives him a good excuse to kill Argamon. So it was basically Bria being raped is what he wanted to happen.
Yep, so that he had an excuse to kill Agamemnon.
Yeah.
And then take control.
Yep. So while he was still with his mommy, Pat follows Brius, goes to Agamemnon, and it was like, this is Achilles' plan. Like, I'm telling you straight up, I'm gonna cut my blood. Like, you can see, I don't know why he cut himself for that, but he did.
I think it's maybe similar to a blood oath.
Yeah,
but they didn't.
He was like, I promise, I'm not lying. Here's my blood. If you rape her, you're gonna die. Everyone's gonna go against you. Like, this is Achilles' plan.
Yeah. And so Pat sold out Achilles to save Briseis.
Yeah, as you should have.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that decision.
Yep. So Agamemnon kept his word, doesn't rape him, and then Pat goes back to his tent. Achilles comes in a little bit later, and he's all like, I'm sorry that happened, blah, blah, blah. And Pat's like, I know your plan, and I already told him your plan. And he's like, you chose Brius over me? And he was like, yep.
Sure did.
I sure did.
But he said it with more grace. He was like, you are not, I mean, he basically said, you're not behaving the way that, you said you were.
Yeah.
He had changed so much at that point in the book that I think Pat was like, nah, I need to do what's right.
Yeah.
But then.
And Achilles kept his word. He did not fight anymore.
And he just let people keep dying.
Yep. And Pat still kind of stayed with him and like allowed him to allow everybody to die. He would still be like, are you sure you don't want to fight? And he'd be like, no, I'm not fighting until Agamemnon apologizes to me. Like, I deserve a sorry. I'm a hero.
Yeah.
And then, wait, we forgot what happened when he was with his mommy.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes and he complains to his mom, and his mom is like, well, Zeus owes me a favor. I can make you guys lose. Like, I can make the Greeks lose. I'm going to give the Trojans power. I'm going to push them to the wall. I'm going to have them start burning your boat so you have no way out. So they will be forced
begging for you
to come back. And he was like, yes, do that. Make them all suffer so that they beg for me to come back.
Thank you, Mommy.
Like, if you're this great hero, you wouldn't have needed to do that.
Ugh,
but whatever. So that happens. They start getting their ass whooped.
burning their boats, and they're like, what are we gonna do? And Patroclus is like, Achilles, you have to fight. We are all going to die if you don't fight. And Achilles is like, no, nope, I won't.
Not until he apologizes.
So then Pit Pat.
Oh, wait, hold on. So they are so they built like a wall to secure them, and they were at the wall about to take it down when Odysseus and what's the other guy's name? His friend?
Odysseus and, are you thinking of Agamemnon?
No, the other one.
Hector? Hector is on the Trojans.
Not Hector.
Troy, I mean.
Odysseus and the other guy, they were always together.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Anyways,
whatever.
So they come to Achilles, and he's like, we'll give you Bria's back. We'll give you first choice of any treasure you want. You could do this, blah, blah, blah. We will give you everything. Please fight. And he was like, this needs to come from Agamemnon, not you guys. So I'm not going to fight until he apologizes. And Agamemnon is also a dick and didn't apologize because his ego is huge too. So he literally didn't fight. So then they did break down the walls, and then they started burning their ships, which is literally their only way to go home. After being 10 years there, you're like losing your one way to leave.
Right.
So Pat was like, Achilles, if you don't want to fight, fine.
I'll do it for you.
Let me put on your armor and let me go fight for you. I know I can't fight, but if they see me in your if they think you're there, they will run because you're amazing.
You. Yeah.
And the only reason they got the confidence to come this far is because you're not fighting anymore. So let me just pretend to be you. Go out there with because not only did he stop fighting, he pulled his army.
Yes.
So they lost like 4,000 men.
Yes.
So he's like, let me and our men go back and fight, and you stay here. You just sit quiet, okay?
Yeah, just be with your mommy.
And then Achilles was like, no. And he's like, let me do that, please.
You cannot fight.
Yes. So he like got on his knees and begged. So finally Achilles was like, okay. And like this whole time, people are dying outside of their tents as he's begging to save them. And Achilles is just like, I don't want you to get hurt. So he goes, he puts on his uniform, gets in his chariot, brings his army, and then goes out there. And he was like, but you are not allowed to actually fight.
Yeah, you cannot fight. Just let them see you and be scared. If they start
running away, you can chase them, but do not go past like this far.
Yeah.
Whatever. So he's like, okay, I promise I won't. So then he picks up a spear, he throws it, and he didn't even mean to. He's like, I don't even know why I did that. There was just a spear. I saw someone and I threw it, and it killed him. So then I kept throwing spears. So then they saw that it was Achilles, and Achilles was killing people. So they did run, and he did chase them. And then when it got to the point where it's like, okay, it's time for us to turn around, he was like, no, keep going. We can do this now. We can go. And then he did kill some people, and then something happened where like his chariot fell over, and then the driver of the chariot was like, okay, we are going back. Like, this was not what Achilles told me, and Achilles is still the leader. So he like starts turning back.
Yeah.
And as he's turning back, this part didn't make sense to me.
I know.
Because they're closer to our camp, but somehow as they're turning around to head back, they end up by the gates of Troy.
Yeah.
Which is very far away from where they are. They're not like outside of the gates.
There's
of
no
Troy.
reason they should be there.
And then he was like, oh, all of the soldiers are fighting way back this way. Because again, that's where the battle is.
Yep.
So I'm just going to climb Troy and take it over by myself.
Yeah. Patroclus, Pat got a little bit too confident.
That was not Pat. I don't know why Madeline made him make that decision. He would not have made that decision. Him doing what he did was so far beyond him, like just killing people. That's when I was like, okay, that's his confidence. He has like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
But never in a million years would Pat look at a wall and be like, I can take down an entire city by myself.
No.
Because the king is still in there. The king's guards are still in. His plan was to go in there and kidnap Helen back. Yeah. He was going to like
by himself.
Go into the guarded castle and kidnap the person who's protected, because that's who this war was about. Completely by himself.
Yeah.
And then there was a god at the top who kept pushing him down, and he was like, I'm stronger than this god. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And he stayed there so long, like being pushed back and trying to fight this god, that the other soldiers did come back, and then they killed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
So,
that's how
that's
that
the end of Pat.
happened. And
yeah,
that is not how Pat would have died.
No.
I don't understand why that is what happened.
I believe that he would have died for like fighting for Achilles.
100%. But that right there is not how he never would have thought, I'm going to take down an entire city completely by myself.
No, I don't think so either. That's beyond confidence. That's
stupidity. And he was not stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was, and
that was like egotistical and stupidity. And Pat is neither one of those.
No. So Achilles is watching this whole thing happen.
1 second, hold on.
Sort of.
So the prophecy was that Achilles was going to die in this battle, but he was going to die after Hector died. And Hector was like the main defender of the other team, who also had like godly strength.
Yeah.
Hector was the one who killed Pat.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole time nobody else could kill Hector except for Achilles, because he was the second strongest person in the world, I guess.
Yeah.
And Achilles was the first strongest. So nobody else could kill Hector. And everyone was like mad at Achilles, like, why aren't you killing Hector? Like, we could have ended this war
so long
10 years ago if you just killed Hector.
Right.
But Achilles refused to kill Hector because he didn't want to die.
He knew that
he was trying to like do a
after.
loophole.
Right.
So then Hector is the one who killed Pat. So when Achilles found out that Pat died and that Hector was the one who killed him, he was like, prophecy be damned, I'm going to kill Hector. So the next day he did go. Oh, and he refused to bury Pat's body.
Oh, yeah.
The story is still being told from Pat's point of view, but from Pat's
afterlife, basically. He's
spirit.
Yeah, spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was weird too.
Yeah. Achilles just kept Pat's body and would like
it was sleeping
next to
with
it, and they mentioned many times in the book like he just ignored the smell and wild.
So the next day he goes, he kills Hector, he brings Hector's body and leaves it in the corner of him and Pat's tent. So then he was now sleeping with not sleeping with Hector's body, but Hector's body was there and sleeping in the same bed as Pat's body.
What
for days?
The hell?
And then Hector's dad comes into the camp and is basically begging, like, this is war. Like, I understand he killed your significant other, but like, please,
he deserves to be buried.
He needs to be buried. His spirit, because the whole thing with the Greek mythology is your spirit can't settle. It can't move on. It's like stuck on earth until it's buried, and your name has to be on
like the headstone
or something like that. Like, you have to have a proper burial for it, which doesn't make sense with the Black Death because they just kind of burned everybody.
Yeah.
Which because Pat is eventually cremated, so that doesn't stop their spirits apparently,
right? I guess. I don't know.
Anyway, so Hector's like pleading. He's like, please, like, just like you would want I'm sure your significant other was buried in that rat. He wasn't. Like, my son deserves that too. So Achilles is like, okay,
fine,
here's your son.
Here's your son's body.
And then he does burn Pat that same day, and he tells everybody that when I die, because I'm going to be dying soon because Hector is dead, that when I die, I want my ashes mixed with Petros's ashes. I don't care what you do with me after that, but I need to be with him. So he never gave Pat a proper burial because he wanted to keep him there until he died so they can be settled together.
Right. Yeah. And I actually don't remember how Achilles dies.
I do. And I'm mad about it. The whole everybody knows the story of Achilles and how he really... Do you know the story of Achilles' heel?
No.
Okay. So most people know the story of how Achilles dies.
Yes.
He dies because like a giant boulder is like rolling down the hill and it's about to just decimate everybody. And he goes and he stops it, but his heel is his one weak point in his entire body.
Oh,
so his heel gives up, he falls, the boulder runs over him and kills him, and that is how he dies.
Okay,
that's the point. Like, that's why your Achilles heel,
is your weakness.
And Pat had a foot fetish. She was obsessed with Achilles' feet the whole time, including his heels. Like, he talked about his heels a lot. So I thought that was foreshadowing to how Achilles was going to die at the end. I even texted you. I'm like, I swear to God, if I hear about Achilles' toes one more time and he doesn't die by his foot, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. So he is fighting, and then, which is, the way he dies is also stupid. It was like so unceremonious, which is why you forgot about it.
Yeah.
Apollo, who is the god of war or something. No, the god of war, whoever that is, was on the side of the Trojans. So he goes and he tells the one who kidnapped Helen, the one who like started the war. He gives him an arrow and a bow, and he was like, shoot him. And he shoots the bow and arrow, it hits him in the face, and he dies smiling.
Oh.
Where he, like, when he died, he was like, oh, I got hit,
oops,
I'm happy now. And then he like smiles as he dies. And that is how he died. In a way that could have killed him like the first year. Like,
right.
He's like the biggest, strongest man, and a guy who wasn't even on the battlefield killed him. Yeah. And then so he dies. And then right after he died, his son, what's his son's name? I swear we read this book.
Please hold. Tyrus. Oh, no.
I was gonna say, that doesn't sound right.
Neoptolemus.
Can I see it?
I called him Neapolitan in the book because I couldn't.
Okay, so his son Neoptolemus, the guy or the baby that he had with that dancing queen, he shows up and he was like, hey guys, I'm Achilles' son, I'm taking over now, like, this is my war now. It's destined that you guys can't fight this war without me, so here I am.
Right.
And they're like, he has a son?
Right.
And then he was like, yep, I have a son, I'm gonna be the best. And this dude was a freaking dick.
Absolutely horrible.
He goes and he was like, all right, all of these women are mine, and just starts raping every woman he sees, which Thetis would not have raised a son to look at women like they were disposable. The way he talked about women so badly.
Yeah. It was the worst.
And I'm like, no, not my girl. My girl would not have raised that. So I didn't like that either. And then they were like, okay, well, here is Achilles and Pat's ashes. Your father wanted them together. And he was like, I don't give a fuck about Pat. I'm going to honor my father. This guy did literally nothing. So why do we care about him?
Right.
And they were like, he pretty much saved the war. Like, Pat is the reason we didn't all die. Yeah. Like, he's a hero. And he was like, he did it with my father's name, so who gives a fuck? Like, he wouldn't have done it if he wasn't wearing Achilles' clothes and pretending to be Achilles. So that doesn't matter. It was my father's legacy.
Right.
He just pretended to have it. Nobody knows that he did that. Only you guys
annoying.
know that. So they're like, you're his son. It's your choice. But this is what your father wanted. Like, he wanted Pat to be honored.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't care.
I don't care.
So he made like a burial site for Achilles. So Achilles' spirit was
settled. Moved on.
Pat's wasn't, which is why the story is still going, and it's still from Pat's point of view because he was still stuck there.
And he was like, from his point of view, he was like, "What? This is bullshit."
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
So then, Pat starts haunting Odysseus's dream, and he was like, please bury me.
Yeah, you need to
please help me.
Tell him to bury me.
Tell him that I need to. So he, like, their ashes were mixed. So he was buried with Achilles, but because Achilles' burial site only said Achilles, I guess that means he wasn't settled.
Yes.
So that So like he was buried, but it was weird because he kept telling Odysseus to bury him. So it like made no sense because he was buried. Their ashes were mixed together.
Eventually, yeah, but it was only Achilles' name. And he needs his name to be
it wasn't like their ashes were mixed together. So when Achilles was buried, he was buried. So I don't know why he kept telling people to bury him.
I don't know.
Anyways, so he haunted Odysseus' dream. He was like, you need to bury me, please bury me. And Odysseus went and talked to, and this was after the war was done. They were about to leave and see their families. And he's like, well, when they leave, and he, like, the son was right. Like, he's like, nobody else knows what I did except for this guy. Nobody knows who I am. If they leave, I'm stuck.
I'm stuck here.
Because nobody knows my name except for these guys. So Odysseus goes to Neo. And he's like, I know your decision about Pat, but everybody else on this island, including all of the people from the Black Death, they all got proper burials except for one person. And that one person was your father's friend, like his number one, his right hand, his companion. Like, the one that your father respected the most is the only person who doesn't have a proper burial. Like, before we leave, can we please give him a proper burial? And he's like, no. I don't give a fuck about him. No,
I don't care.
No, he cannot. And his whole thing was, because they were mixed together, the only way to give Pat a proper burial was to give his father's burial, half of it, to Pat. And he was like, we're not putting Pat's name on a hero's grave. Like, that's not happening. We're not going
to put a human name on.
Yeah. So, like, if they weren't mixed together, Pat would have gotten the proper burial, but he wasn't willing to share his father's legacy with Pat.
Gross. So,
and then he was like, your dad was gay and that was his lover. Like,
like this is really
what
happening.
He wanted. Like,
yeah,
he wasn't just some random guy. Like, first of all, he saved all of us. Like, you wouldn't be the hero you were by saving us without Pat, because we would have been dead.
Exactly.
And second of all, your dad was in love with him. And he was still like,
that's not my business.
Not my business. He's still not gonna take any legacy away from my dad, because that takes legacy away from me. He's a dick.
So then do they all end up leaving, and that's when he starts talking to Thetis?
Yep. So then they all just left, like they couldn't do anything about it. And then Thetis started visiting her son's grave.
and Pat was like, I have nothing to lose. I'm gonna start yelling at her.
Listen to me. And the first time he like started talking to Thetis, he like looked up and then disappeared immediately. Then every time she would come visit, Pat would just kind of like yell at her and be like, hey, look at me. And
what
she
up, girl?
Just ignored him
for a very long time.
And then one time she was like, tell me about
my son.
So he gave her every single memory, like every touch, every kiss, every laugh, every single memory of him and Achilles. And then she like was like just crying about it, like and how happy he was. And then she was like, what about how's his son doing? Like, how's Neo doing? And she's like, Neo's dead.
Forgot about that.
It's just like, Neo's dead.
So nonchalant.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh. And he wasn't even like, sorry about that. He was just like, oh, okay.
Yep. Checks out.
And he was like, oh, how did he die? And she was like, he died because he was raping another woman's wife.
Yep.
I'm sorry, that's not funny.
It's not funny.
It was just so unnecessary to just like slide that last one in.
Like, why do you need to keep talking about this kind of stuff? I don't understand.
So then he was like, okay. So then at the end of that conversation, she's like, thank you for making my son happy. And then she put his name on his gravestone.
Mm-hmm.
So he was finally able to move on. And then like the ending scene was his spirit and Achilles' spirit coming together.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the book.
Yeah.
I feel like the end of the book was very forced. Like I didn't really like the end of the book.
I disagree. Like 50%.
I was going to say, you agreed with me in our text.
I think it was, I do feel like it was a little bit forced, but I liked the sentiment and I liked that.
I like the sentiment. I just feel like it was dragged on too much.
I do agree with that. I think it could have ended maybe like a couple chapters before, but
like, yeah, for sure. It felt rushed, but also like it wasn't rushed enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ending with the sun and like all of that felt so rushed because like the sun came and then they all left in like a few pages, but then like the ending just dragged on and on and on.
Yeah, it was like she couldn't figure out how to end it, and then she did figure it out, and then she dragged it even more.
Yeah.
But
it was a great book.
Yeah. No, I really, I liked it by the end. Yeah. And talking about it now more, I think I enjoyed it more than I thought I did.
You just talk to me about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so much like the ending of this book, I think this episode is going to be cut. I don't really have anything more to say other than I think that you should read it. It's a very interestingly set up book, and I do think that if you want something a little bit different, you should read it.
Yeah, it was a really great book. If you don't mind long world building, this is your book.
Yeah.
If you're someone who needs a little like faster pace, like you need plot lines as well as world building, this might not be your book.
Yeah.
But overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Oh, wait, are we going out of 5s? I don't remember what we did last week. Or last month.
I think we did out of 10.
Okay, I give it a 7 out of 10. 3 out of 5.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah. 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. That's all for today's book review. Join us next month when we read Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney.
Follow our TikTok at plot_twist_punchlines_pod and on Insta at plot_twist_punchlines_podcast. Steph, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at StephSmilesXX23 or on TikTok at Vessel VSSIIL. What about you?
I'm just gonna leave all of this and I don't even care anymore. You can follow me at Mel of a Time. It's like hell of a time, but with Mel and only one L's.
If this made you laugh, feel seen, or just forget the world for a minute, we're so glad you're here. Your support means the world to us. If you want to support us by more than just listening, you can follow our Patreon and become part of our inner circle. Choose from 2 different monthly donations, each with their own perks.
Please don't forget to follow, rate, and review because it really helps us out.
And share this with a friend who needs a laugh or a break too.
Come back for more laughs, hot takes, and monthly book talk book chaos. Bye.
Bye.